Hello everyone, so coding journal 3. How is the application going, Matthias? The same state as last week. Well, not that. I'm gonna tell you the same as last week. The thing is that I'm developing the backend, okay? And I'm trying to nail all the time the perfect architecture, and I'm learning a lot. This week, I've been learning a lot, okay? I've been learning a lot about Spring, okay? This guy is amazing. It's basically a Spring developer that makes these videos explaining a lot of concepts. It also has a series of videos talking and explaining Spring Boot 4, the last version. So it's really helpful that this guy has been really helpful for me. I've been also reading about, I've been exploring new stacks to apply for my project, mostly the front end. There is something called React Hook Form that it's basically my components I was developing in my front-end application, but it's already a framework that gives you everything already done, and that's the idea, right? So, for example, in my source code in the front end, I have my components, I have this form, and I have this nice form drop-down form text field that, as you could see in the last video, these fields basically are highly customizable, have error handling, validations, change colors based on errors, you know. So as you can see, it's really complex. Okay, because this is the parent, and then you can see that I also have a form for drop down. Where it is? Here, drop down. So this is the parent form dropdown, and as you can see below, it uses the dropdown that it's another custom component that, as you can see, has more logic, blah blah. But with this, everything works out of the box. So I'm thinking about learning how to use this tool, this library, and it consumes time. So I've been reading a bit about the get start here. You can see there is a section for React Native. So you have this controller dependency and component that you can. I've been trying to understand how this library works. Basically, it gives you this use form hook, which in turn gives you this control, and this control it's what handles the logic. And you have rules, and you can render your custom components here. In case of React Native, it's gonna be our text input or whatever it is. So I may use this library. I've been also exploring another options. Another one was Forky React or Formy. I don't really remember. Formic. So this is another option. I didn't like it that much, so I'm not gonna use this. I've been also looking at React Query. Okay, I've been looking at Tanstack. Yeah, there it is. Tanstack is another one. So you have React Query, Tanstack. I've been exploring a bit of technologies that slowed me down a bit. It also slowed me down a lot, the domain-driven design, trying to conceal domain-driven design with the Spring Data technologies, because Spring Data, so you know, in Spring Data, you have the Spring Data JPA, okay? This thing is horrible. Don't use this, okay? Because this is like black magic. You can analyze your entities, okay? Spring Data, to anyone who doesn't know what it is, it's a black magic where you basically have entities, okay? Some examples. Entity. Well, I think this could work. So no, getting started maybe. So in Spring Data, you have this annotation, you annotate, and basically Spring takes charge of everything. But when I say everything, I mean that if you change the person, you have this, right? And you do this, you don't need to call repository.save. If you finish this function, and this function has at transactional at the top, this set name, it's gonna be persisted in the database. So that's something that is black magic for me. I've seen it in some projects. I don't like it at all. What I like instead is Spring JDBC, which, okay, the thing is that people normally confuse the JPA with JDBC because they think that the right queries, query methods, query sample, maybe it's this one. So basically this. So another level of black magic, I think it's a little bit below, is that if just by creating this interface and not giving any implementation details, this works. Okay, so if you want to find by email address and last name, okay, Spring, by this naming of the query, it's gonna calculate, it's gonna implement your method for you, okay. And this also exists in JDBC, and I think some people don't know this, but Spring Data JDBC. So this also has the right queries, which is what I want. The right queries. So you also have this in JDBC. So right now I'm using Spring Data Relational with JDBC. I'm encountering some problems, mostly with the primary key, because I don't want the database to generate primary keys for me, okay? Because right now, if you see my schema, the database it's generating the ID for me. I don't like that because I prefer my domain to generate keys for me. But the problem is the issue that I couldn't make it work because there is some, well, I don't want to go into much detail with this. But well, I think this is a good moment to show you my commits from this week, and they are a lot. So this week, 17th of January, 16th, so you have also 14th, 13th, I've been committing a lot. The code changed a lot, but I've not been committing in the front end. As I've told you before, I've been exploring a lot of new stack to apply to my project, and I've been learning more about Spring Data. So, okay, Matthias, why don't you use AI? I'm gonna tell you the same as last video. I believe that you first need to gain experience. I believe AI, it's gonna make you not a better developer, but it's gonna rust your brain if you don't know how your code works. If you are not able to apply Spring Boot to your projects by yourself, then when you gain experience and you already have this structure in your mind, how to structure a backend, how to implement repositories, how to connect domain with repository, how to implement your tests correctly, how to use the latest dependencies of Spring Boot 4. If you don't know all of that beforehand, AI is gonna generate a slop, and you will not be able to stop it. So I recommend always to practice and to not let yourself rust, because for now AI it's not perfect, and we still rely on professionals, senior developers, whatever. So I don't have that much to tell you. I signed myself up in a hackathon of AI, and I'm gonna show you that. I signed myself up in this hackathon, okay, and about AI. And I'm teaming up with other 2 peers, and we're gonna be developing one AI project for the 8th of February, and let's see how it goes. We already have some ideas. The theme is like you have to develop an AI solution that helps people with their New Year's resolutions. That's the idea. So fun thing here. I've been also playing with AI agents. I've installed the LangChain sandwich demo, which I've been reverse engineering it to learn how to create a voice agent. I recommend everyone to download this repo if you are really into learning AI, agents, etc. Because it teaches you how to do the pipeline of speech to text, then the agent in the middle, and then text to speech, or speech to speech if you want. And it's really educational. You also will learn about WebSockets, because you need the audio input from the browser, which is pretty fun. I think it's motivating to develop your AI voice agent. So yeah, I think that's everything I can tell you for this week. The application has not been moving forward almost anything. The backend, yes, the backend has been moving a lot. The backend now has validation, has better exception handling, and like building all the foundations that later are going to allow me to develop faster. Okay, and for AI to develop with good practices. That's my idea. My idea is to set up the project, learn a lot, so I know what everything does, and have these nice foundations for later the AI to be able to build on top of the good practices, and not generating slop or generating older Spring techniques, Spring dependencies. Because now, for example, we have the REST test clients, that it's the new client you must use for your test, and it's much easier to use than the old one that was REST test template. I think I have it here, but I've commented it, so you won't be able to see it, because right now the test containers, I've been playing a bit with it and they are now broken. Okay, just give me a break. So you have the test. I think I declared it. No, here, REST test client. This dependency, and I use it here. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward, but really helpful, better than the REST test template. So yeah, I've been also using Claude Code for guiding me, not for like generating code uncontrollably. What I think that I wanted to do is to, while I'm developing manually in the old way my application, when my new laptop is delivered, I want to have the premium Claude Code subscription and make Claude work at the same time I'm working in my stuff, you know? Like while I'm typing and developing and thinking out dependencies, thinking out the best practices, I will tell just Claude Code, well, develop me a Google photo. So I'll develop me a financial application to submit my expenses and my incomes. And so I will give Claude Code all the applications I always wanted to develop, while I'm developing my own application here manually. And hopefully that will allow me to ship more things and have this sensation that I'm not a more than dynamic sensation, you know. And also I want to use my applications I want to create my ecosystem of applications where all the data lives in my Raspberry, and I have all my data, I can play with it, you know. I really want to do that. So when my laptop is delivered, I will be shipping a lot more with Claude Code, but on another projects while I practice in this one. So yeah, that's it for the video of today. Coding Journal 3, that's what I've been doing. domain-driven design gives you a lot of constraints, and that's why I'm developing a lot slower than I could. Of course, I could ship faster, but I want to learn the best practices of backend so I can ship good quality code, then give the AI the good structure of the project so AI builds on top of good practices. And I also want to grow as a professional, so this won't happen if I just give AI now all my job. So yeah, that's basically for the video of today. I hope you like them. See you soon, and let's stay connected.